What if I told you there's a reason you can understand your psychological patterns better than most people you know, yet still find yourself trapped by the same old behaviors, the same old analysis paralysis, the same intellectual circles that lead nowhere? What if I promised you that if you stay with me through all three parts of this video, you'll finally get the one brutal truth no philosophy book or self-awareness guru ever gave you? This is the reward for anyone who doesn't quit halfway. But it only makes sense if you stay to the end, because nothing changes until you see the full picture. And trust me, you haven't heard this connection made before. We all know the feeling. You've done the work. You understand your shadow, your trauma responses, your cognitive biases. You can explain to friends exactly why you procrastinate, why you self-sabotage, why you stay small. You think, finally, I get it. Now I can change. But when it's time to act, something invisible still holds you back. Sound familiar? Society tells you knowledge is power. Maybe you've told yourself that 1,000 times. But Aristotle would say knowledge without action isn't power, it's a prison. A sophisticated prison that feels like progress but keeps you exactly where you started. Most people never look past the surface of their own intelligence. They think they just need one more insight, one more book, one more deep conversation about their patterns. That's why you can spend years in therapy, read every philosophy text, understand yourself completely, and still not get off the couch. Here's the mind-bending part most smart people miss. The more you understand your problems, the more sophisticated your excuses become. It's not what you'd expect, but it's exactly what happens. Every insight you gain, every pattern you recognize, every philosophical framework you master, all of it gives your resistance new ammunition. Your mind becomes a master of justification disguised as self-awareness. Think about it. How many times have you spent hours journaling about why you're stuck instead of taking one small action to get unstuck? How many deep conversations have you had about your blocks instead of just moving through them? This isn't stupidity. It's actually a trap that catches the smartest people. Your intelligence and your paralysis are in a tug of war. And until you see what Aristotle saw, you will always lose. You might think more understanding is the answer. Read another philosophy book, take another course, have another breakthrough about your childhood. Get that aha moment, and maybe you'll finally start, right? But here's the brutal twist. Understanding is just fuel for procrastination's fire if you don't know what actually creates change. Aristotle believed that you cannot think your way into a new way of being. The more you analyze yourself without acting, the more trapped you become in the prison of your own mind. So let's map out what actually happens. I want you to see the pattern that brilliant people miss every single day, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You get a profound insight. You understand exactly why you're stuck. You feel that rush of clarity. This is it. This is my breakthrough. At first, you're energized. You make mental plans. You tell friends about your revelation. The insight feels powerful, almost intoxicating. But then the days pass. The insight becomes just another interesting idea floating around in your head. The patterns you understand so well continue running your life exactly as before. This is when you start making deals with yourself. I need to process this more deeply. I need to understand the root cause better. I need to think through all the implications before I act. Suddenly, a week has passed. A month. Your understanding is deeper, but your life is exactly the same. You feel like a failure, but an intelligent one. So what do? You look for the next insight, the next philosophical framework, and the whole cycle starts again. Here's Aristotle's brutal secret. It's not a lack of understanding or intelligence or insight. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of how human transformation actually works. Aristotle wrote, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." Read that again. Not we are what we understand about ourselves. Not we are what we've analyzed about our patterns. We are what we repeatedly do. This brings us to the question almost no intelligent person dares to ask themselves. If you understand yourself perfectly but never change, what are you actually committed to? Is it growth? Or is it the comfortable identity of being someone who understands their problems? Because here's what Aristotle realized. The intellectual trap isn't trying to ruin your life. It's trying to maintain your sense of superiority and safety. But it doesn't know the difference between real progress and the illusion of progress. Every time you choose analysis over action, you strengthen the pattern. And every time you strengthen the pattern, your identity as someone who knows but doesn't do gets a little more solid. Aristotle saw this happening in ancient Athens. The smartest people, the philosophers, the intellectuals, many of them could discourse brilliantly about virtue but lived mediocre lives. They mistook understanding for embodiment. They confused the map with the territory. Most people click away before this truth lands. They'll keep living the same cycle, blaming their sensitivity, their depth, or their need to do it right. No matter how many insights you've had before, most people never see this connection. If you do, you're already ahead. You've made it further than most intelligent people ever do. By now, you've seen how understanding can become a trap, how analysis can replace action, and how the smartest people often stay stuck the longest. But here's the truth. Most brilliant minds never face. Insight isn't the same as transformation. They understand their patterns perfectly, but they never turn awareness into embodiment. Aristotle saw this in the greatest thinkers of his time. Self-knowledge is powerful, but useless unless it becomes what he called hexis, embodied habit. If you're still here, you're ready for the real reward. The exact steps to finally break free from the prison of your own understanding. You don't need another insight. You need a new relationship with action itself. Here's what Aristotle discovered. The only way to change a pattern you understand perfectly is to act so small and so consistently that your mind can't intellectualize it away. Let's be brutally honest. Your intelligence is always looking for the perfect way to change, the complete understanding before you start, the optimal strategy. It wants to turn everything into a project, so don't give it anything to analyze. Choose one action so small it seems almost insulting to your intelligence. One paragraph written, not a perfect essay. 1 minute of exercise, not an optimal workout plan. One honest conversation, not a complete relationship overhaul. The power isn't in the size of the action, it's in breaking the spell of endless preparation. Think of it this way. Aristotle taught that virtue is like learning to play an instrument. You don't become a musician by understanding music theory perfectly. You become a musician by playing badly at first, then less badly, then well. With every tiny action, something profound happens. Your identity shifts from someone who understands to someone who does. Most smart people drift through life in their heads, then wonder why nothing in their reality changes. Aristotle taught that hexis, embodied habit, is the bridge between understanding and transformation. So here's what you need to start doing. Track your journey, not for perfection, but for embodiment. Every evening, ask yourself, did I take my microscopic action today? What did my mind try to tell me about why I should wait, plan more, or understand deeper first? Write it down, even if it's just a sentence. This process does two things. It keeps you honest, and it lets you watch your intellectual resistance in real time. What gets embodied gets transformed. Now here's the paradox that brilliant people hate. The less you think about your small daily action, the more powerful it becomes. Your mind wants to turn everything into a project, a system, an optimization opportunity. Resist this completely. Just do the thing. Don't analyze how you feel about it. Don't track 17 metrics. Don't create a perfect system around it. The moment you start intellectualizing your practice, you're back in the trap. So here's your reward. Aristotle's blueprint for embodiment. 1. Choose one action smaller than your ego wants, so small your intelligence feels almost insulted. 2. Do it every day for 3 weeks, not because it's optimal, but because repetition creates hexis. 3. When your mind offers better ways to do it, ignore it completely. The practice is resisting optimization, not finding it. 4. Track only this. Did I do it? Yes or no? Nothing else matters. 5. When you miss a day, start again immediately. No analysis of why you missed. No optimization of the system. Just start again. This isn't theory. This is how real people with brilliant minds finally stop being smart but stuck. Most will never finish this journey. They'll watch half a video, save another insight, and keep waiting for the perfect understanding that never comes. But you, if you've stayed with me to the end, you've already proven you want transformation more than just comprehension. Aristotle believed that those who dare to act despite incomplete understanding become the rarest, most powerful kind of person. They stop living in the world of ideas and start shaping the world of reality. The world needs more people like that. The world needs you in action, not just in understanding. If this video spoke to you, here's your final challenge. Share in the comments one tiny action you'll take today. Not your grand plan, not your complete understanding. Just one small thing you'll actually do. Support someone else who's choosing action over analysis. Let's create a space where embodiment is celebrated and transformation actually happens. If you want more philosophy that moves beyond theory into practice, subscribe and join this journey for real. Your understanding was just the beginning. Your embodiment starts now.